my TLC story. At the beginning of the school year, we hear these words, TLC. I thought, what are they going to make us do this year? You know, what hoops do we have to jump through? Who's going to make money on this year? But I decided that after I heard about some of the positions that were opening, I'm going to give this a try. I ran into my first hurdle of being absolutely overwhelmed last year. I just completed my 28th year of teaching, but they gave me middle school on top of my high school load, and so this required another schedule, working with another principal and a different age group of students, so I was totally overwhelmed. I asked the TLC person if they could help me because I was feeling so overwhelmed. They got me a sub for an afternoon, and I had the opportunity to work with the instructional coach, the high school English teacher, and myself. And so at the end of the day, my special ed curriculum aligned with the general ed curriculum, and I just went home feeling 100 pounds lighter. So that was just an absolutely wonderful feeling. My next hurdle was running into behaviors. I had behaviors appearing now from middle school students and high school students, and just wondering how I can do this. You know, as a matter of fact, I'd go home at night just wondering, you know, can I even do this? Can I even make it to the next day? I even wanted to look into early retirement. I was just about over the top. So I applied and asked for an instructional coach when this survey came out to everybody, and I wanted to see what they could do for me. So okay, I talked about behaviors, but there was an absolute feeling of embarrassment having to ask for help. I mean, after all, I've been in the room for so long, I should be able to take care of this on my own. Okay. The next thing that this instructional coach was able to do for me was to meet with me on my time. I loved the fact that when she would come into my room, it was, what do you want to work on? It wasn't her agenda. It was what do you want to work on, Beth? And so we collaborated, and I really feel like it was true team teaching. And the best part of all, both of our instructional coaches are so confidential. You don't know who they're working with unless you hear from the teacher how much they love working with the instructional coach. So the next thing is time, and all of us are short on time. So there were many nights when the instructional coach and I would work well past the hours of the regular school hours. But I felt so much support, and the students love having the instructional coaches in the classroom. The kids are just so excited to show their progress, you know, to this stranger that is in the room. So it's just very positive. So in January, they come out with a new position. They're looking for model teachers. I'm feeling pretty good about myself now after working with an instructional coach. So I applied, and they took all 5 of us that applied. But I kind of got the feeling of alienation. I think the term model teacher must have made my colleagues feel like I thought that I was better than them, which I am not. But I felt alienated in the hallways, and no one was coming into my classroom. It was just a real lonely feeling. So I just had technology issues, and as a model educator, nothing was working out right. But the TLC gal started a pineapple culture, and I think that really started changing things at the end of the school year in a positive direction. It involved everybody, and we kind of got away from the model teacher. So in the workroom, there was a bulletin board that had the days of the week and the periods of the day, and if I'm teaching a math lesson, I could put that on 4th hour, and that welcomes people into my room. But nobody's coming to visit the model teacher. So I decided to invite one of my colleagues in and ask, would you please come and help? Would you please watch for this behavior? Would you watch for this? And so that teacher came in and scripted my entire lesson, and later that evening sent me the script of what I said and thanked me for inviting her into my classroom. So we shared several emails back and forth, and I asked her what I could do differently. What would you do differently? Now you tell me the truth. So she gave me great feedback, and I in return am going to go to her classroom and help her. So it was a wonderful experience. Another TLC experience that helped was when AEA specialist, technology specialist Judy Griffin came up to school and invited all teachers and gave us her schedule, and we could sign up for a time that worked, and she wanted to help us with anything that we wanted. And being as knowledgeable as she is, I asked her if she could help me with my progress monitoring to make my life easier, and of course she did. And I'm using it now, and it is simplifying and saving me a lot of time. So I'm very much appreciative of that opportunity that was given to me. So how is the TLC how is it valuable to the IKM Manning School? There are so many ways that this has been a positive for our school this year. I told somebody on the street that it is what has boosted me for the love of education again, and it is making me a better teacher in return, which is going to benefit my students. And I think this is true for all students, but many times a special ed teacher feels like we're on an island by ourselves, and now we're collaborating. I'm on top of my game. I have that pineapple outside my door, so I welcome people at any time, and we give each other feedback and support. And you know what, overall in the end, what TLC has done for our students is benefited all of our students at IKM Manning.